before I came up, there was 4 kids. Out almost third of the way out on the lake,
Making like on
swimming out in the middle. There's a town bylaw that says anything out over 100 feet, you gotta have a boat with you.
Yeah,
4 kids out there.
well, we're training up our new officers.
Yeah.
So we'll have more patrols.
Still doubt they didn't know. But
Plus the lake is
I was
probably
thinking this, we've told the state,
smaller.
this, I've told the state many times, but they won't post it. And I think the reason is when they put the float lines in, I think they tell everybody you're supposed to say within the float line.
Yeah. Well, they do, yeah, for the, they're at yeah, they haven't put it in yet.
No, they'll be doing it probably next month.
But let's say open Memorial Day weekend, which is this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they're not in yet.
They are not opening this weekend. If you and Lenny read your email, you would see that I forwarded you a communication from DCR that they are not opening the public beach until the water level is back to summer.
How did you explain all the people out at the beach?
Mhm.
I have no idea. That's not my job.
So they're not
Well,
staffing the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, they will not have any staff. Correct.
there's no lifeguards until.
Yes. No lifeguard until it's back up.
It's good though.
So the kids can use squirt guns until they get back up to regular level.
And dogs on the beach.
Exercise caution at all times.
We only have rules there for part of the year, so.
Yeah.
Seen anybody try to?
Oh, my shirt's stinking. It's good. It does.
Just us, so we're gonna be able to make it for them?
How you are, all that.
I don't know. I talked to Eric on the phone. He said he was coming.
If you, Melissa had a family emergency to attend to, so she's not here.
This is not. Rita, is Rita not?
Rita is still select board until July 1 and someone is coming.
Oh, it's not me coming into the meeting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thing is, if we get lazy and like,
Hmm.
the thing is, you get lazy and you stop wearing certain things, it's very easy to just stop completely. So that's why I still wear the vest and everything.
It's gotta be some weight.
It is, it's very heavy.
How many guns? Guns so far.
I think the vest is probably like 30. My belt's probably a good 25, 30.
Seriously.
I'd be tired at the end of the day just carrying that, not doing the job.
Yeah. Heavy. The badge is heavier than it looks.
Yeah. Responsibility.
Exactly.
Not very much scheduled here and
Do we have a quorum?
It's 5:01.
I don't think we do.
You have 5.
How many people
What?
are on the committee?
It's only me and Devin. Howie, you're really not, are you really on or not? We're department heads.
Was before.
Really?
If I'm not, let me know, I'll go.
Yeah, Eric Stocker.
Eric's joining. Or... Website.
It doesn't have you listed as a member.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not on here either, so I guess I could go home too.
Well. There's
Well, why would you?
Member-
The Deputy Emergency Management Director.
I wonder if we have an official like criteria to be on? Emergency management team? I was assuming it was just all select board members and all department heads.
Eric's here.
In charge of the committee.
And I think the Board of Health is considered a
Correct.
voting member as well. So
Yeah, totally. Yeah, all board, all, all boards. a member from each board, basically, and the select board.
Yeah, one person from the select board, I believe, so the idea. Is it everybody in the select board? I don't even know.
I thought it was everybody from the
Well,
select
you
board.
could- You could be right.
Yeah, I thought it was everybody from the select board and then one person from every basically every major department. Including the school.
Yes, because,
Well,
yeah, the principal is on,
Because we're gonna, at some point when we come up with a shelter plan for the school, she has to review it and approve of it. So,
Maybe that should be a future item, is reviewing our charge and composition
yeah,
and the website, because it still actually lists Becky Torres. We should probably fix that.
yeah,
yeah, I can see that. Yeah, there's a few things I should probably talk to Gail about for the Shutesbury webpage.
So you find I don't have to be, or?
I don't know if you're truly on or not. I was under the impression you weren't.
I mean, I think with the ongoing
It says Dan.
dam issues, I
Yeah.
think.
I know the dam issues, it's really good that you're here, because
Right.
I know that is a big issue of the dam. Um,
yeah, I would think if we have a meeting in the future to clear up this question. Kyle
yeah,
should definitely be on the list.
yeah, totally.
Hey, Leslie.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't see.
Leslie will know.
Leslie will know.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm waiting for you to get a decision.
Yeah, we need some historical context on the emergency management team and its composition. Who's supposed to be on it?
Oh, well, I can give you the history. I'm not sure who's supposed to be on, but it
Okay.
started up. The select board started it when the dam needed those repairs back in the O's.
Mm.
Yeah.
It was the select board doing it and that evolved into
Yeah.
an emergency management team.
Pretty sure Melissa probably knows too. She was on the select board when the ice storm happened in 08, right? No,
I'm positive Melissa probably knows.
Yeah.
She was probably on the select board when dirt happened.
I have to be here on
Oh, you have to be here because you're the dam.
it. I'm the damn keeper.
You're the dam. Yeah, and yet that, do you remember you were there through the repairs? And then
Yeah, I don't remember if they said I had to be a member. But
it was much looser than
yeah.
you're trying to tighten things up.
Well, I'm not even really, I don't care about even tightening it up. I mean, we kind of, I just don't even know if we have enough for warm right now.
I'm a member.
Yeah,
I'm a
1,
member.
2, 3.
Eric's a member.
So
Yeah.
there's 5 of
The
us.
town administrator always.
I think
was.
Garrett's a member too.
Yeah.
I was under the impression the town Becky wasn't though.
And Garrett's a member.
Yeah, I know Eric and Eric.
1, 2, 3. I'm sure the dam keeper
Sorry,
is always a member. 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5. And at some point.
Yeah.
The minutes keeper should be, I think, should
Yeah.
be.
Good
I
guy.
would also like to add Sergeant McGuire too.
Well, you can still have them. If we're unsure about whether or not we have quorum, we can still meet. We just can't take any official votes, but we could still give the updates that we want about the dam and the oil tank.
So could we, I guess we can start the meeting?
It's okay with me.
Yep. And first things first would be to approve of the minutes. So you're saying we should just approve them for next meeting?
Oh yeah, I would do next week until we can just be sure.
Okay,
We don't want to incur any open meeting law violation.
okay. Public comment? Does anybody
No, we
have any-
don't.
Are you gonna call the order?
I thought we did. All right, call to order.
Second.
All right. So, everybody got them. We're gonna postpone the minutes for next month. Anything for public comment? No. Review old business. Basically, the two things I have on is school tank, the school oil tank and the lake oil dam. So,
Okay, so they being Ty and Bond were at the school last Friday to do more drilling. Let me just pull up a quick email. So I think that basically the last communication I have from them said that they want to hold off on doing anything else until they can test what they just drilled, which makes sense to me. And then we'll see how we want to go from there. They want to look at what the soil and the groundwater is showing, if there's any presence of oil, and then we can, regroup that plan, but so that's, I think it's no significant updates. Weeks ago, someone may have already mentioned that the Ty and Bond and Royal Steam, one of them hit an electrical line near the oil tank, so we'll have to figure that out going forward, but
The electrical line for lights, or is it for the like fuel tank?
it was for the fuel tank.
All right.
So more contained than it was
Yeah.
all the way to the school. But yeah, so we're hurry up and wait for the oil tank to find out if there's any additional contamination. And as far as the dam goes, Howie, the level, but I can report that DCR is not opening the state beach until we reach the summer level of the pool of the lake. So I think we're fairly close to the winter drawdown level.
And I talked to Nate about an hour ago. We're at 26 and minus 26. And he had talked to dam safety and he called me back. They want me to hold it as close to 2 feet
Okay.
until they do the inspection, which he hopes to do later this week, maybe Thursday.
Okay. And so once we hit our target point, there'll be that hold, and we're gonna assess whether or not the repairs have had their intended effects. Are there any additional sinkholes? Is the trash rack working to solve the structural problems that we saw? And assuming everything is fine, then we'll raise the water up to the summer level, at which point DCR will open up the state beach. So again, that's going to be closed. There's no lifeguard on duty, so folks should exercise caution when using the lake because there might be hidden hazards that you wouldn't otherwise see.
Now, the dam's still closed off
Yes.
completely, so now today we had a full beach, a full lot of cars. With that typically comes problems with people parking at the dam and trying to get onto the dam. Do we have adequate signage and everything?
Yeah, I mean, there's from the road to the dam, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 signs that they gotta walk by.
I just want to make sure, because it's not as typically bad when there's not activity on the
Yeah.
beach, but now that there's activity on the beach to this level, I want to make sure we have everything.
In fact, my nephew was working on his beach and he looked down at the dam and there was 2 fishermen, one of them right in the work area. And he went down to talk to him and he asked him, "Did you see the signs?" "Yeah, but it doesn't say you can't fish. It only says you can't be here."
Yeah, the police department would appreciate calls on that, so we don't get repeat offenders. So we can address it. It's always good to talk to people, but
Most of them are pretty good.
Yeah.
And after the signs come down, they know what it was in the past and
they're trying to use loopholes.
yeah.
Always.
What liability does the town have if anything happens at the state beach and there's no lifeguard on duty?
I think that'd be a good question for council. But I mean, if everything is posted that people shouldn't be somewhere, and I don't know what the state posts in terms of,
Post anything?
I would assume that they,
The state leaves, there's a way to close the beach so people can't get on it. The state leaves the beach open. I would assume, and I don't know this to be fact, but I would assume that the liability falls more on the state since it's a state beach and a state park. I could be wrong. But like Haley said, it's good question for council.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send her that email I got and ask her what she thinks of it.
Usually they have signed no lifeguarding duty or something
Yeah.
like that.
And they technically, well, they own it. The town doesn't really, in a sense. I mean, even jurisdiction wise, environmental police get like first priority for state details and stuff like that. So it kind of changes the landscape with that as well. So I would assume they assume most of the responsibility. So
Yeah. There.
Haley, if we could go back to the oil tank for a moment, I
Mhm.
believe at the last meeting, there was discussion about offering testing to the private well owners, neighboring private well owners. Do you have any updates on that?
Yeah, so in my communications with Kelly from Ty and Bond, I think at this point we're going to wait until we get the results back from the sampling and then move forward if we need to.
Thank you.
Have the barrels left down there?
I haven't been there recently.
We're there a week ago.
Yeah, it would
Yeah.
make sense. I don't expect that they would want to remove the barrels until we were sure we've gotten every last bit of soil that we
Right,
need to collect.
makes sense. And can we just, I'm just curious a little bit more about the electrical line, like, is the, is the tank unfunctional now because the electrical line is broken? Or what?
No, the tank has passed it had a tight tank test,
Right,
tongue twister. It passed. There's no reason at this point. I think and obviously there were still malfunctions anyway, because the sensor that's supposed to alert you when these things happen hasn't been functioning for 8 years.
right.
So I think it's all part of that same thing, which will obviously get addressed once we know more about the full scope of that contamination.
So when you say they hit a cable, there isn't some cable sitting there cut in half, lying there or anything?
No,
nothing like
definitely
that?
not.
Okay, good.
And I know that they were a little bit more proactive about finding any lines this past Friday.
Yeah, good idea.
How soon will the soil samples come back? In case they're contaminated or not?
They didn't say.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want people to panic, but like I said, I mean, the sensor's been malfunctioning for many years now, so in all likelihood, it is probable that there have been other spills that we didn't know about. But we're not going to know that until they test.
I believe that sensor is most likely the water sensor, water level, float level inside the bowl. And, yeah. All right, anything else on the oil tank?
I don't think so.
Anything else on the Lake Wyola Dam? So other than looking into council about liability if anything happens at State Beach? It's not.
And I assume we mean like if people are injured.
Yeah, say somebody drowns, somebody's gonna sue the town because we didn't know.
I mean, that's a more general question too. I mean, if people are on the dam, even when everything all's fixed and everything's fine,
Mhm.
and the sign on the dam says don't go on the dam, if they go on the dam and then fall in and drown or whatever, whose
Yeah.
fault is that? Well, don't worry, it'll be ours.
yeah, I mean, I think we've explored that before, and it always comes up that we can't keep people off the dam. So I think at one point there was a town vote on it, right?
It was, yes,
Yeah.
it definitely was.
And it failed. So, I mean, it's tough.
And technically, the select board never rescinded the vote to have it be entirely off limits either. Remember way
It
back.
went from there to the town meeting with the select board's endorsement of of staying off the dam.
No, I mean for the state of emergency. So we still have that actively
Oh, right, I
declared.
see.
That
I'm
hasn't
sorry,
been
yeah.
lifted. And then the select board had voted to prohibit all, non-town staff personnel access to the dam.
Right, okay, I'm with you.
Under those circumstances, we can trespass people.
I don't
But-
know if you- Yeah, how much?
But I mean, typically the sheriff's department serves civil process, which is trespasses. Which could be done, but I mean, how effective it is,
Yeah.
there's also the matter of with trespassing, within courts, like trespassing typically fails as a charge, but one question with the property line issues, has that been resolved with the landowners?
I've not heard back from the Zabruas, but I will email again. Cause I had asked them to meet with one of the select board members, myself, at the property to look it over, but I never heard back.
Okay.
They were there this weekend,
Okay.
brought their boat up. Can't put it in. Their time of year to become, but only on weekends usually.
Yeah,
Is this thing keeping them off the dam that you say we can't? Is that a town policy or is that a state policy? That we can't keep them off?
It's a town
It's
emergency.
a town policy for now, for sure. Because the dam's in disrepair, that's why
Yeah,
we. As you know, the idea of keeping people off the dam was defeated at the town meeting, so that's not, we can't do it.
yeah.
I mean, I think. Honestly, I think that's also a question for town council because there's other dams that have appropriate gates and stuff to keep people from going in them and keep people from trespassing. So I'm not sure why it doesn't apply
yeah.
to our dam. I'm not sure why we would need a town vote to do it. It's town property.
Yeah.
So
Safety issue, right?
So I'm not sure why we can't just close it if we just haven't closed it because people like to fish on it and we wanted to get general consensus on it. But, I don't know what the circumstance is. I just don't see why the town couldn't say we don't want people on it because of liability.
Well,
Yeah.
the only thing I can answer that is to say that that's sort of what we tried to do when we were passing at a town meeting that time. I mean, it's one of those issues. It's a hot button issue where you say to somebody, you
Yeah.
can't go out there and have cocktails at 5 o'clock and look at the water and all that stuff. Which I get it. But it's people are not happy with that idea at all. So
Yeah,
whether or not you can or whether or not you can, those are sort of two different issues, as you know, those kind of issues.
I think maybe we could try to market it better of like, we're trying to reduce the liability risk to the town.
They never used to come out there until we repaired it, put that nice kind concrete slab on. Fishermen used to come only.
Yep.
Well, I think people figured out it's a nice place to have Friday night cocktails. You just go out there and,
There's people that have, from talking to people that have kind of traditions, if you will, and rituals that, when a certain person comes up to visit or whatever, they always have a drink on the dam and swim. So it's kind of, that's where I think we get a lot of pushback is you have that aspect and then you have the people that have been fishing here for 20 years.
right.
So I think it's kind of both of those groups that are adamantly against closing it to the public.
Yeah. I mean, you got a big lake and there's not too many places where you could just hang out without being on somebody else's property.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but there's no railing. Well, there is that one, I guess, but that one other side of it.
people swim off of it too. I mean,
Yeah, people just swim off it. They complained about, not, oh, you're gonna take away my swimming. Again,
Yeah.
I get it.
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
it's whatever.
The worst part is little kids.
Yeah.
And I mean little ones running back and forth on the
Yeah.
top of the dam, swimming down there, and it's, I'm afraid somebody's gonna get hurt one of these days, but.
If
No,
we
we've
can't do
had
it-
situations, I think, with the parents are throwing their kids off the dam, like into the water by the trash rack. So it's not fun, whatever, well, they're, you know, the bird to go on the trash rack and have the ride of their lives.
I mean, if it's like we can't close it or something, maybe we should look into how to make it safer. I know it's not what we want, but
They talked about putting a fence along the backside of the dam, but you can't do that because the dam is made as the spillway. That's why they concreted.
so you can't.
that. So in case of high water, it's supposed to go over the top of the dam. That's why all the riffraff is now at the bottom of that side.
Okay,
Then they talked about a breakaway fence. And the breakaway fence, what if somebody's leaning on it and it didn't work that day?
right.
And the fence breaks away and there they go.
And
And
guess it would
also
be
a
better than
fence can't be there to hold everything, everything back and
yeah,
trying to come over to the.
If we marketed it better at town meetings, saying we're trying to reduce liability risk, lawsuits to the town, would that be a better way to pass town meeting?
But
You could try, well, you can try, Lenny.
I mean, I don't see how though, I really don't see how metal railings would prevent water from going.
Well,
through.
it's not
Yeah,
any,
like some wood that floats down,
if
gets
it's-
caught up in it, and then
Yeah,
it's
but
basically you just
you
turn
had
the
a
dam
flood.
into another foot higher.
you had a flood, there's all kinds of stuff coming.
Yeah.
Because we've been through that in what, 2015 or something. When it was going over the third spillway, there was junk coming down through there then.
Devin was saying earlier that other places completely fence off. So what if, out of respect for neighbors' boundaries, there was fencing, chain link, which I guess that in itself would be a problem, but all the way down both neighbors' property across the guardrail and with the.
Uh,
Some of the neighbors, the people that wanted to keep going to the dam, I will point that out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that doesn't count fishermen or whatever.
Well, that's,
Well, one thing we can consider is that, like I said, there has to be that second, this is only stage one, was getting out of the emergency declaration. So when we work with our engineers for like long-term solutions, I think we'll want to talk with them about how do we make it a lot safer. Cause yeah, I mean, some of that, like, I don't know, on the Cape, like people jump off bridges during low tide and you're like, why are you doing that? But you know, you have to have a better balance there.
I mean, it seems to me that I agree with what you just said, Haley, but it also seems to me the real question for Donna, the attorney, is what, if anything, can we do to eliminate our liability? That's as much as anything what you're gonna do, because you can tell people to not do it, and they're still gonna do it, I'll tell you that. But if we had signs saying you can't do it, or whatever you have, I don't know what the legal requirements are, but are there legal requirements that you can put up, or signs, or posting, or whatever, that say at your own risk? And I mean, do they mean anything, basically?
yeah, I don't know if you can eliminate the risk, but maybe it would give. Because someone could sue no matter what, but maybe it would be, if there was appropriate signage, it
Right.
would be better point in court that area, you know, that area
Right.
has warnings and everything else.
Yeah, I guess that's the general point, is to make sure that we have things posted in the way that's most, what's the word, most most protecting for the town.
Yeah.
I guess we could ask Donna that question. What's the best way to post it so that the
Yeah.
town's not liable?
Well, that's a good task for Brennan when he comes back for vacation.
That's
We'll
right.
we'll get him right on it.
Alrighty, I know last meeting, Melissa brought up, the beaver dam issues upstream on the lake. I pulled a couple, things off Amazon, coyote decoys for $65. They're 30 inches long, 25 inches high. What I read, they're not much of a deterrent against beavers. There's other things. There's like sprinkler heads that are motion sensor that'll turn on a sprinkler and sprinkle the area, like if you had it at your garden. But we don't have any pressurized water at that site at that bridge. So I don't think anything like that would work.
Put one of these on the dam. Scare away the people.
Oh, yeah, totally.
That's true. That was a good point. That would scare the people away.
Yeah,
I've seen those things. They are very realistic. They really are.
yeah,
We had one caught on the trash rack when we cleaned it.
yep.
Oh, really?
And then I also looked up, possibly like a ultrasonic squawk box that's solar powered, and then when it gets, and when it senses motion, it just does ultrasonic noises. And again, it doesn't really say much that it's gonna really work on beavers. These three options don't really cost too much money in the grand scheme of things, but I don't think they're really gonna all that work in the long run for, keeping the beavers away. Because I think if they did, the trapper would have been suggesting them as well too, if they weren't that great. So.
There's no repellent either, is there, for
No.
beavers?
I don't think so.
Mm.
I read also like, coyote urine and stuff like that. They don't care about it. Doesn't bother them.
Yeah.
So,
I could ask the lieutenant from the environmental police. He might know something.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They tend to know a
Yeah.
lot about this.
honestly, what I read is basically what Howie said is the quicker the dam gets pulled apart. And, every time they start putting a dam up, get rid of it like that within that couple day period. And they'll eventually give up and go somewhere else. The problem is you gotta go through the Conservation Commission every time before getting permission to pull the dam apart.
Well, you're not really pulling the dam, that's how we got away with, we're
Yeah,
really pulling the dam apart, you were pulling brush that had accumulated in that area.
oh, I
I
know.
used to ask kayakers when they're going through, if you see any, either pull it out or let me know about it, and I'll go down where my hook
Yeah.
and pull it up. Once the dam gets built,
Yeah,
then you gotta go and.
it's kind of like the definition of a dam is a little different from your definition to my definition to the Conservation Commission's.
I think mine's right.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
my
know.
sense is
Howie's
the
too.
Conservation Commission too is not, the Conservation Commission that we now have anyway would not, they would they think it was okay if it was gonna solve the problem, I think. I can't speak for them obviously, but I think that's true.
Yeah.
Cause it's a health hazard
I'm
too.
under the impression that they want us to go to get a permit every time we see something across the water. That's what I'm under the impression every time I've asked that question.
But I feel like
Uh,
with what Howie said, like, I mean, a dam is a livable structure, and if you're just pulling a few twigs out or branches out, it's
I
not really.
asked that exact.
Did you?
So,
Well, the thing to do maybe is have a proactive meeting with them before this now and say, hey,
yeah,
when do we call you? At what stage of the process do you have to get
Yeah.
notified?
And
Be
what's the
clear about
statute
that.
for that?
Yeah, what is the law on it?
Right.
No, like what's their actual like legal criteria?
Right.
Cause they may ideally want every time, but what's actually necessitate? You know?
But I'm sure it's more than one,
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
twig is one twig and two twigs is another, there's a
Yeah.
point where it's,
no,
do
I've
it to the
asked
point where you
them,
don't bother.
I literally asked them nearly word for word of what we're talking about. And they're like, yeah, you gotta go through us on basically everything.
But also there's a thing where the Board of Health says that area will be kept clean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah. I think the Board of Health would much rather proactive than repetitive emergency permits.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We could have a little meeting with those three committees for that matter, or, or even this committee, the Select Board and the Board of Health and whatever, just representatives and very quickly try to come to an agreement.
I mean, I think the quicker those dams get beaver dams gets removed, the better, because then it's less controversy with having to trap them and kill the beavers and.
Right, oh, no,
You
absolutely.
have everybody upset with the beavers getting trapped, so.
No, I agree.
But by
Yeah.
the time it gets to us for an emergency permit, we really don't have a lot of choice to make. I mean,
Yeah.
it comes back to the question of liability again.
Yeah.
You know, so if we don't approve, then, you know, there's potential liability to the town.
I got no doubt the Conservation Committee will obviously sign a permit the second they're able to, but we're going, 2 weeks away. If I see a couple sticks across the stream, it's going to, now I have to talk to them, schedule a meeting, get a permit. Now it's going to be 2-3 weeks later before touching that. Rather than at the second I see it, just pull it off. So.
Do you want to invite them to a meeting?
I think we should. Just present the problem that you have,
and it would be nice if we could get like a permit to like, hey, if you see something, just pull a stick across automatically, but that type of permit doesn't really exist as far as I know.
Well, you could maybe do like an MOU. Like I know for Dave, like he can get certain things pre-approved so that he doesn't have to go like every time I'm not a highway superintendent. I don't know all the tech terms, but like, if there was like a small culvert or something that he had to fix, like he wouldn't have to go automatically. to them.
Well, that would be awesome. The second you see a stick off across the stream,
That has to do with
you
the,
got permission to remove it regardless. That would be so ideal, rather than have to wait several weeks. The next thing you know, it's like a real dam in 2 weeks, and then you
Yeah.
go get the excavator and the trapper. So,
I really think they would be sympathetic to your issues there. That's my guess. I don't know that.
yeah,
but
welcome to government.
Yeah, no kidding.
So,
well, the FERCog, I think, plays a role in
They do
And
for Dave.
and that too for Dave. So I don't know if they would play a role in this, but could be worth an email asking
I
them.
might know other towns that do different stuff too.
Yeah,
I've talked to other towns and they're all upset with beavers.
I also upset with them. Yeah,
I think we should just invite the Conservation Commission, or at least the chair, or at least a couple of people or whatever, some representatives to our next meeting and just say, we've got this issue.
Yeah.
What would you do if you were me? Whatever. Here we are. You
Yeah.
can take out a stick and a twig and this and that and get things stopped, or you can let the thing blow up and then we got to kill the beavers and blow the thing up and da. It's
Yeah.
no
Oh,
brainer.
totally. It would be so much easier just to do, what Howie said, it's just when you see something across the
Yeah.
stream, just pull it off.
Absolutely.
So,
When they start packing mud around and
that's,
now it's an excavator to take it out.
yeah. Then you took a very easy job to now you made it difficult. So,
got to trap the beavers and everything else.
yeah. It would be nice not have to go down the whole trapping the beaver road just to,
Yes.
it's less controversial. It's less time when that culvert's plugged up, that the road could wash out.
It's
Yeah.
much cheaper too.
Yeah,
Yes.
totally.
That's always a winner in this town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, so like I said, I got a couple other alternatives to scare the beavers away. I don't think they're gonna really work too well. I mean, we could spend money and try, but I guess we could bring it up next meeting.
Well, how much are they again?
Coyote decoy is $65. So if we bought 2 of them and put them on either side of the culvert, might work for a little bit. We have the ultrasonic, squawk box here, and there's different ones with different price points on them. But like a 2-pack of this thing I picked up was $72.
Hmm.
So whenever it senses motion, it just.
You know what the decibel amount is on them? 'Cause
Oh,
you know what it's gonna be going off. The beavers are active in the evening.
I don't think it's audible to
Yeah.
our ears.
No?
No,
Oh,
it's like it's like one of the
One of the dogs.
decibel, yeah, like
yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very.
And I don't know if, this isn't really advertised for beavers. Of all the other animals, it scares away. So for all I know, the beavers won't be able to hear it.
I know from experience, cause I have, mice and chipmunks that like to get into cars and stuff. They sell them for cars too, to install in cars, and they don't work that well for mice and chipmunks. I don't know about beavers, but
Beavers are in your car, so.
not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
So
But-
they are working against for beavers there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I do know those coyote things. My son lives in Vermont and he lives near a reservoir where people go swimming, and there's a couple of coyotes there to keep the geese off the reservoir, and they work. I mean, they
Yeah.
scare the geese away, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
That would be good for the state beach because
Well, they use them down at the lake. There's
Yeah.
people down, yeah.
Yeah, I
At the
just,
state though.
what I read for beavers though is they kind of don't care if the coyote decoy doesn't move for a day or two, they just assume.
Yeah,
So it's not
they must
real
be
and-
smart.
Yeah, and they go back to doing their thing, so.
I just looked up online, we could get like chicken wire to wrap the trees, or you can mix some like really fine grit sand and spray paint the trees because the beavers don't like the grit.
Well, that would save the trees from getting eaten
Yeah.
around there, but that's not gonna prevent them from chewing brush further upstream and.
Well, it's true, but if they don't have as much access to components to make it, maybe that
Yeah.
helps.
So,
That's a thought.
Anything that'll keep them, but
yeah,
I'd have to do a number of things.
Yeah, might be a little bit of everything.
yeah. Ready? Should we talk about next meeting?
Sure.
Anything else? Reports, concerns of any other boards?
No, but we are doing a rally to save the post office this Thursday from 4:30 to 6:30 on the town common.
Mm.
So you want to lend your support, fight the powers that be, say we want our post office in town. That's an option.
Does anybody know what happened?
So it's, it's one of those things where unless you were one of the people directly involved, you'll probably never know. But suffice it to say, the post office has options. And you can call something a temporary closure, but if you've made no plans like setting up alternate post office boxes at the town hall or a mobile post office unit, which they do have and employ, we would call that a de facto closure. And when you de facto close a post office, you're entitled to a 60-day notice, a public hearing, and none of which happened in this case. So regardless of whatever perceived or real leasing issues they had options that they didn't make available to us. And that's the real problem. That's why we want to fight to keep it.
Would we be able to keep our PO box and have a PO box, the same PO box for the fire department at the town hall then?
Yeah, they can set up the boxes.
So they can, but they're not, everything's.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to. The
Yeah.
post office could actually set up all those boxes right there and still make deliveries. They chose to say it's going to Leverett. And that's why, if that makes you upset, because it makes me really upset, you should
Yeah.
come to a rally Thursday.
Well, I think one of the issues for the town too is the town itself is gonna have a lot of extra expense and time wasted. I mean, what's the tax collector? It's gotta go down to Leverett to get her, pay her
Mhm.
stuff instead of like, what's that gonna take? An hour,
Bastards.
half an hour down, half an hour back and whatever? That's all we got, that's all time and mileage we gotta pay for. It's crazy.
we get the mail every day. So
Well, there you go. There's another
it's not gonna be
example.
convenient. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
That'll be nice in the wintertime.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have all the senior citizens who need their prescriptions going down through
Exactly.
the S curves and on a wintry day.
It's also interesting as a police department to have your address in another town. Your
Yeah.
your mailing address in another town is a little bit odd.
Yeah.
They told me the mailing addresses will stay the same. I'll still be box 84 Shutesbury, Mass, even though it's in Leverett. If that makes any sense. That's what they told me.
It doesn't, but
No, and we weren't properly notified and we have rights. You're supposed to also be told there's an appeals process to that decision, which conveniently no one was notified about. So those are the type of things that, they really should come back to the table. and be a little bit more thoughtful.
Well, the postal workers union representatives that we talked to are very clear on the fact that the post office always has a lot of contingency plans because of, potential for floods and hurricanes and blah, blah, blah. So they've got like mobile units, they've got all kinds of ways they can deal with it if they want. And they just haven't wanted to in this particular case.
So we'll be on the common.
Yeah. anyway, yeah.
Thanks.
So,
Huh?
can we say?
The Postal Workers Union is filing a formal grievance, but that process could take a year. But what they've said is really effective is public advocacy and being able to show up in numbers and hopefully get some good pictures, and hopefully some of my friends will be there, so that we can continue to say that this is the amount of pushback that you're getting. Because usually when you get enough pushback, not always, but
What time is the?
it's from 4:30 to 6:30 on the common. And then the Thursday after that, we're staging a call-in to the Postmaster General's office. So I did a town announce about that. There's a suggested script you can use, or you can ad lib, whatever. It's just about making the phone calls so that they're like, oh geez, maybe we shouldn't go to Shutesbury after all.
Stay as the town.
Yeah, it's fair to say that all of our representatives, both at the state level and the federal level,
Yes.
that I've
Been great.
contacted, there's other people contacted as well, that they're all sympathetic to the notion of we should not be closing the post office.
Yeah.
We're
And I
their constituents. They don't like it. We don't like it. They don't like it, kind of deal.
No. And they did file a formal inquiry into it, because also post office is supposed to notify your Congress that they closed the post office, and that also didn't happen. So there are a lot of things that didn't quite happen, that hopefully will be rectified in the near future.
Yeah. Should we talk about next meeting? You want to do it 2 months from now or 1 month?
Either one's fine with me.
Maybe June over July.
I was thinking like July 13th.
Sure.
Yeah, that should work for me anyway.
5 o'clock, okay for everybody?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, July 13th, Monday, July 13th at 5 at the town hall and hybrid.
Excellent.
Alrighty, yeah, I don't have anything else. All in favor of closing the meeting?
Can't vote.
Yeah, we can't vote. Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Oh, dear.
I'll say aye and not vote.
Aye.
All right. All right.
Non-voting.
Yep. All right, well, take care, everybody.
Thanks.
Okay,
Have a
see
good
ya.
night.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe if I do this now, I won't.
Yeah, the day when I was there.
Hey, check this out. So if I sign up right now.
Hey, Haley, so tightening on